Oh my God. Best laid plans of men and mice. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, never fails. This probably will not go over very well based on the fact that I am about 15, 20 minutes late because I had issues. Oh, sorry, I am late. Best laid plans of men and mice, always something pops up. So I know there's a couple people here, so I appreciate you even showing up. So I apologize. Never fails. All right. We'll see if anybody else joins and might be just one on one conversation. Oh, hopefully you guys can hear me. Track practice. Oh gosh, I remember those days when my son played ball. We would be at baseball practice or something. I get all that stuff. That's always fun stuff. And I got to put the glasses on because I can't read that close. So again, I apologize. Crazy. Let me fix this camera just a tad. Crazy last hour. So I'm not going to get into it, but anyways, it is what it is. All right, what questions do you guys have for me? I just want part of this was to say thank you for the 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. Very grateful for it. It's it has been a journey, definitely a life's journey, but it's been pretty crazy. Uh, doing this, and yeah, it's been a blast. So appreciate it. Last year was pretty crazy. Did a lot of stuff, obviously. And then 2024 is kicking off. I mean, well, it's January, so the weather's not great here in Ohio, Cincinnati. So that's never a fun thing. So, but yeah, had a great last year, and pretty crazy, especially with the broken leg and everything else. And I didn't even film it. There was probably about a month or so ago. I went down. I actually thought I broke my right ankle, the other ankle, but got a high ankle sprain, so that kind of laid me up, just a tad. But we're back up and running. I just got to figure out to get out here and start riding, even though it's going to be about the 10, 15 degrees this coming weekend. So a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So what questions you guys have for me out there? Pan Am's rules, GS rules. Okay, yeah, I love it. I am going to ride that Pan Am at March Moto Madness, so I'm going to see what that's all about. So that should be fun. I haven't ridden one since I think Whalen Wayne weekend, not last year, but a year ago, and they only let us kind of go up to the around the college there and back. So got a great opportunity this time around. So I'm looking forward to riding the Pan Am. Yeah, March Moto Madness is great. It's a good kickoff to the year. Tellico Plains is really nice. Now, what was this? Last year was pretty good weather. I know we got dumped on with some rain one of the mornings. I think it was Friday or Saturday morning. It got a little cool off, but it was fine. The year prior, it was cold. But again, I think that one was third week of March. Last year was more of the March, April 1st one. And now this is going to be in the first week of April. So it should be interesting. I got a feeling it's going to be maybe a little wet just because it's going to be that first couple weeks of April. But it's always a great time at March Moto Madness. A lot of great people. Venue's cool. You'll love the the hill climb stuff is always a great thing. Trials competition. I'm actually going to do that this year because I got to gear up for what I promised to do in 2025, which is a GS trophy. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but March Moto Madness is fun. It's early in the season and you don't know what kind of weather you're going to get. Plus, if you go do Whit Road and all that good stuff, that's always fun because you got nothing but a bunch of water crossings. And if you haven't seen that, check out my March Moto Madness video from last year with all the water. Pretty crazy. Lost at last. I do not. Brad, I do not have a name yet for the GS, so any recommendations out there would be fantastic. Yeah, I hope to get some good video too of going through Whit Road. I should get some good video. We'll see what happens. It just depends, right? I mean, if we get a lot of rain and if they have a lot of runoff, then yeah, that'll be pretty fun stuff. If it's not, it's still always fun because you got the kind of that slick shale grooved rock that you got to go through. And on the left hand side, if you saw last year, a couple of the guys, I don't know how they didn't sink the GS or sink the I think he was driving his DRZ, and I don't know how they made it through there. You could hear him gurgling all the way through, and that's on the left hand side. So yeah, it's always fun going on Whit Road. And yeah, we need to get together and maybe do a little bit of the of your trail and kind of pump that baby up. So yeah, so I have both. Obviously, I have both. I kept the GS. I kept Cap. Realistically, about going to the GS, I was at the trophy competition. I was a scorer for one of the sections, and I was by 4 different sections, and I was very fortunate enough to get some video and some film, obviously, of it, and all the things I've been through. And I've worked a lot with Tom Asher, who is a 2016 GS Trophy. Tom Asher is just really a great teacher and stuff like that. And when I was there, it was weird. I saw people, and not a lot, and let me preference that. Out of when I say I saw a lot of people, probably 7 to 10 people maybe that didn't attempt some of the sections. And in some of those sections, I've done stuff like that out in the wild, and maybe not great, but I've done them. And I felt like some folks were there just to get a participant jersey, and so what got me thinking is that, and then also seeing who finished in the top 16. There were only 2 GSAs that made it to the top 16. Everybody else had a GS except for one who had the HP2 Enduro. And again, I think I've talked about that, where Scott Atchison, who is one of the 3 that's going to represent the U.S., Now he's on a GSA, but again, he looks like, Thor or whatever. So he was manhandling that bike like it was a paperweight. So yeah, so part of it was the GS, and there's another little bit of a backstory on that as well. I don't know if you guys remember, I had a GT, a K1600 GT. This is a little over a year and a half ago, year ago or so, and great bike. It was a great bike. It just wasn't me, and I thought it would be me. Thought I could use a GSA more off road, this one to ride more miles, and the GSA is just a great bike. And long story short is I went to trade it in. I actually ordered another GSA, a trophy, just like this GS that I bought, fully fully everything on it, and I was going to trade the GT in, and the dealer I was dealing with, let's just say that some things didn't work out, and I'll just keep it at that. And I ended up not getting it, and I really wanted it. I really love the color scheme. I really like the looks of the bike, and so a combination of the two things. I really wanted that color scheme. I wanted that bike, but at the same time, I also want to go do the GS Trophy. I'm getting older, obviously, and I have some goals for myself that I stated earlier this year in some videos, and I really want to get after it. And I think that the 40, 50 pounds lighter that GS is than my GSA, and seeing what happened at the competition, and you have to obviously ride a GS. That's the reason why I got it. And I just wasn't a big fan of the 1300. Been around it a couple of times. I didn't show anything from when I was in Detroit with it. And at the trophy qualifier, they had the 1300s there. I obviously took pictures, sat on it and everything. I don't know. It didn't feel like a GS. I think they've taken the GS out of the GS out of the new 1300, and I could be wrong, but that's just me. I've seen all the reviews from the European folks, and I knew what I had in the GS and the 1250 of the GSA in cap, and I just figured it would be the same type of feel in this GS, and so far it has been. And I just figured I'll save a little bit of weight. I'll make that more my dirt bike, and I'm going to give it a shot. So these next 18 months are going, or a little less than 18 months now, is going to be a push for me. So that's really why and so the biggest thing I probably will miss on it is if I do long trips, because you just don't have a big gas tank. The wind protection on it is really not a whole bunch of difference. You can feel a little bit on the legs because of that extra body on the GSA. But I think the big thing is just going to be the gas, a little bit of the gas anxiety. I'm actually taking the GSA. I'm doing a Colorado BDR this year. I'm actually going to ride the GSA just because it's 1,400 miles out, and roughly 1,400 miles back, because as we get done with the Colorado BDR, we're going to the GS Giants Go Big Rally, which is in Wyoming. And so it's just, again, it's set up more, for the long distance and bigger gas tanks. So, but yeah, that's the reason why I got the GS. There are really two reasons. One was after I was at the trophy thing, and two, I just love that color, and I almost bought one earlier, and it made me mad, so I went ahead and got it. And I'm very fortunate. I'm just fortunate to be able to do it. So sorry if that was a long dissertation. Anything else out there? Because like I said, okay, so yeah, you heard me about March Motor Madness. I'll be at Kane Wagner's Appalachian Adventure as well for the Fool's Ride. That'll be fun. That's where I had my KTM last year and almost destroyed that bike. So great slick. All right. That could be a contender. All right, I like it. And then let's see. Let's get on the goat for sure. True. Oh, okay. Yeah. So That's a good one. So realistically, it is amazing. I've been only doing this for what Cap's going to be March of this year will be 3 years since I bought Cap. So, and I realistically will say that it's been 2.5 years of me really riding motorcycles, and I've put over 60,000 miles on bikes, and which is pretty wild. And again, I'm very fortunate. So with the MOA stuff, it actually all started when I went to the BMW training center in Greer, South Carolina, back in with that April, May of 21. I think it was May of 21. And I only had Cap for 3 or 4 months and went down there and did training because I mean, I hadn't ridden a bike. I needed to learn. And became friends with Wendy, who, if you've seen her, she was on the Wyoming BDR movie. She is now getting married to Tim James, who Tim is one of the board members and directors at the BDRs. I became friends with her, and through that association and just that type of thing, and then I had the opportunity. I got invited, and this is the other part of it. I got invited by Wendy and through the BDR to fly to California for the release of the Wyoming BDR, which was absolutely fantastic. And so that's where I got to meet a lot of people. Ted from the MOA, and just Jocelyn Snow and Sterling Noreen, and just as you just on, and met Kurt from Black Dog, and that's kind of where it started, meeting people. So I was very fortunate to get the invite to go to there. And again, and then I just dove into this head first, right? So I started looking for training. I started riding with folks. Again, Chad Warner from from Waylon Wayne Weekend, and got to be friends with him. Obviously, Chad's known a lot of people, so that's how my affiliation with the MOA started. Through a little bit of that, and then that's how I got the trophy thing. I mean, people can volunteer for that, but I was asked to go do that, and that just came through the folks that I've known in the industry. I mean, again, I've been very fortunate to get to know Dennis Godwin, Charles, Tom Asher, especially. Tom has vouched for me. I've actually been his Sherpa at a couple of training events. He trusts me enough, know what I'm doing, that I can at least go around, pick up bikes behind people. And those three guys were on the 2016 trophy. I've got to know Matt Kelly from the 2018 team. He and I, have become friends. Ben Fopp, who was on the 2022 team. So through those, through actually Wendy, I give Wendy a lot of credit. Um, we just became friends, and next thing I know, it's kind of led into this whole thing of being involved with the trophy, the MOA. Obviously, Chad worked for the MOA, so and then Ted, and working with him, and then I did the foundation stuff. That was another thing I got involved with, is with Tammy, who's director of marketing for the MOA Foundation. I was asked last year at March Moto Madness to film Shal Marie Wilson, who does She Adventure, and I also did the Dragoo one. We ended up not posting that video, not for any particular reason. They just didn't use it. They wanted to use Shal's stuff, but that's how I got associated with that, and it's been very door opening to access to a lot of this stuff. And I actually have March Moto Madness. If you guys are going to go there and be there, where there's good the current team USA is going to be at March Moto Madness. So Kirk and Billy and Scott are all going to be there, and I'm actually going to do an interview with them and stuff like that, which will be kind of cool to sit down with them, maybe just for 15 minutes, half hour, just to talk to them about their experience and just get, a little take on that. So anyhow, looks like everybody's left. Had enough of me talking. I know, I apologize. I was late. Brad, let's just connect. Yeah, not a problem. I appreciate it. What, and this is all my fault. Something happened. I was late, so it is what it is. Hey, let's get together and sometime, and let's try to ride. And then what I would love to do is, and we'll talk more about it. But let's get out and let's ride this spring, and let's connect and kind of get something on the books. So I greatly appreciate it. So. All right, I'll let you go back to doing your thing. I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll connect another time. I like I said, I'm sorry. Something came up, and I'm way late, and it is, just things happen. So I greatly appreciate it. All right, take care, bud. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.